Hi. Good morning. I am well, thank you. I hope you are too. Just a few more minutes just to breathe. I hope y'all can hear the music, just something to calm my mind. Calm your mind too. I see I have some more people in. Hi. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, beautiful people. It's your girl, Bev. It's another Saturday morning at 10:05 to be exact. I just want to say good morning to everyone. And I don't know why I was about to say Happy New Year, but I don't know why it feels like a new year today. Maybe that's a good thing. But I just wanted to say that I love you all and I appreciate those that are on right now. For those of you that are watching for the first time, this is the Fly with Bev show. And I try to do these every Saturday at 10 a.m. just for the sake of being able to be positive minded and to have a butterfly mentality in a world full of caterpillar struggles. And we know how hard life can be. So I tried to create a show where it's like a podcast / radio show / talk show that you can all be included on so that we can be able to discuss different topics, different things to keep us positive minded or something positive to look forward to in life. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. That's why I want you all to be included so that you can share with me something I've never heard or something that I may have heard and may have forgotten about. Or I can share something with you that you all may not have heard or may have forgotten about. So I appreciate all those who sign on. I appreciate all those who, take the time out of their busy schedule to check in with me. First and foremost, this week was Thanksgiving on Thursday. So, happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone. I do celebrate Thanksgiving and I am grateful for that day. However, I'm one of the weirdest people probably because I do not like the food of Thanksgiving. If there's anything that I enjoy the most, it is definitely the desserts. But other than that, I did have one plate of food. That was it. And I didn't even eat leftovers yesterday. So, that's just me. But I want to know how everyone's Thanksgiving was. Did you make something for Thanksgiving? Did you just go and show up with nothing to contribute? Did you visit multiple houses? Let's see. What are you thankful for? Me, I will start off by saying I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for that. The day before Thanksgiving, a cousin of mine passed away. And then the day on Thanksgiving, I found out that two people that I knew passed away. Someone that's been like a friend of the family, AKA family, all my life that I can remember passed away. the day before Thanksgiving, I think. The day before Thanksgiving, something like that. Yeah, the day before Thanksgiving. So it's just been a tough time, losing three people in less than 24 hours to my knowledge. It's like, oh my goodness, and you just never know how, you know, short life really is until people close to you start leaving or people that start leaving this life. And it's a thing of, it's so many people out here that we just take life for granted sometimes. And Thanksgiving should be a day for us to really truly give thanks. And I don't know if we really take advantage of the opportunity to just tell God thank you on that day, besides blessing the food. But I'm truly thankful for just being able to be alive and just for being able to, see my family, come together and see my nieces and nephews and my in laws and my aunts. And, one of my aunts came by the house and we hadn't seen her in a long time. And I'm grateful to be able to see her still in the land of the living, and it's just an amazing thing. I really thought about my grandfather this year. My grandfather passed away in 2019. And there are just certain people that you just don't forget, and it was just a moment where I was just like, man, like I really miss my granddad, like a funny guy, just a funny man, like all together, make you laugh. Like, sometimes you wouldn't always understand what he said, but he was a funny guy. So tell me, if y'all have any recipes, anything good, let me know. And, maybe you can shoot me a direct message and give me the recipe so I can make it. But I made a cherry cream cheese pie and I made a blueberry slash plain cream cheese pie. So I put blueberries on one side, and we like, me and my sister and a couple of others, we like plain cream cheese pies. So I did a mixture of both, just to try it out. But everybody, of course, the winner is always the cherry cream cheese pie. And I also did banana pudding that everyone was raving about. And I mean, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, it was slamming. Okay, it was slamming. So I'm grateful that I can even make something that people love and enjoy and think about and be like, man, like this was really good. And they get excited when they know I'm going to make it. That makes me happy, making other people happy. So I'm thankful for that. Um, Anybody else? I see we have Miss Shalom or Sister Shalom. Thanks, Wanda. My sister said, yes, it was good. So I'm grateful for that. I really, really am, because it's nerve wracking for those of us that don't wake up thinking of cooking for people every single day, to make something and you don't know whether or not people are going to love it or be like, don't make that again, you know. So I'm grateful that they're like, oh, you're going to make that banana pudding you made the last time? I'm like, okay, I definitely will. So that's always a good thing. Oh, thanks, sis. She said, praying for your strength and comfort. So very thankful for life. Thanksgiving was good. Certainly, there are seats at the table that no one can fill at the table, and that makes me sad. But even more thankful to still be here. I was slaving in the kitchen, but I did eat. Oh, well, I'm glad you got a chance to eat and enjoy, those that were present. It is hard. It just seems like the older we become, the shorter life seems, and it's just an amazing time where you can just be around people that love you. Because in this world, the world can be very cruel. I've said that many times before. And, it's just good to see people around, around the table that, can truly say that they love you, and that they love you and you can feel that love in return. And it's not always easy, to be around people like that because everybody's busy nowadays. Everybody's taking care of themselves or taking care of the other people, and doing things, the best things for themselves. But, whenever we get an opportunity to be able to join in and to show people that we love them and care about them, it's always a good thing to show up, you know. So that's a good thing that we have holidays like that where we can come together. Good morning, my Instagram people. I'm just, welcoming everyone and welcome to the show, Fly with Bev. If you have anything that you're thankful for, anything that you enjoyed on Thanksgiving, anything you made on Thanksgiving, you want to drop it in the comments. I'm happy about that. I'm going live on Instagram as well. For some reason, this StreamYard.com, they do not allow you to go live on Instagram as well as Facebook and YouTube. So I have to use a separate device to go live on Instagram. But I appreciate you tuning in. That makes me feel so loved today. As you can see, I don't know if y'all can see the description for the video. But I wanted to talk about today, and you all can still fill in what you want to fill in for Thanksgiving and things like that. But I want to talk about self love and self care because it's things that we have mentioned. Hey, sis, it's things that we have mentioned before. And when I hear us mention certain things, and I really do appreciate those that gave me so many wonderful ideas. And I'm like, I got to strategize on how I'm going to do these topics and things like that. But I definitely know that towards the end of the year, I want to do a reflection show, and I want to talk about things that I'm reflecting on and things that I look forward to in the near future, God willing. And everybody does New Year's resolutions and things like that, but I don't do New Year's resolutions. I just keep working on me and go forward into the next year. Hallelujah, amen. um, but I wanted to talk about self love and self care today because, of course, they're all tied into one. And I know that, the world that we live in today, it's not how it used to be. And I make this statement sometimes often about how, growing up as a kid, certain things may not have been mentioned. You didn't really realize what self love may have been. All you know is you saw your mom and them taking care of everyone, not really sitting down until the work was done for everyone else. And one thing I can truly say is I can compare it to today's society. And I see that a lot more people are taking advantage of loving themselves and not just stating those things that I love myself, but they're actually trying to do things that benefit them as a person and as a human being. And, it's not always easy to make that time when you have a big family or when you have a small family, but I see, or when you're a single mom or a single dad, and you have the kids, you may not have those moments to like be by yourself to just cherish maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I think I was watching this clip of Gabrielle Union, and she said that she normally fakes a stomach ache, like so that she can like just go to the bathroom. Not that she's actually going, but she's like, I think she said she was sitting there playing a game or something, just so that she can go and have minutes alone to herself. And it's so funny that we actually, think about things like that because we want to get away just to have time to ourselves. So I just want to, just I guess go in a little bit about just self-love and things that we do and just the different aspects. So feel free to chime in on some things that you would like to or that you would like to share that people can do to love themselves more or to take time to care for themselves more. It's more than just caring for your physical being. It's more than just taking a shower. But sometimes even that within itself is like a moment of just self love and self care because maybe you've been ripping and running all day. Maybe you've had all these errands and you woke up and oh my gosh, I'm late. So you hop out of the bed, you do the bare minimum, you gotta do this and do that. And then, you get that one moment to just, okay, let me do this before I do anything. And you just get in the shower and that shower turns from 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. Who knows? But it's like those things right there can seem like basic needs that people should probably invest in, but that doesn't mean that everybody gets a chance to do it. Look at the people overseas, the third world countries, the people that don't have the type of showers and the type of things that we have to be able to take good care of themselves physically. Those things sometimes can be taken for granted. Oh, I have running water. I'm going to take a shower. This is what I do. But what about those people over there that don't have those things? They have to learn other ways to like love themselves and to take care of themselves and their basic needs. So it's like over here in America or different countries where we have access to these small things, it's like, you know, we can take those small things for granted and not even know how important that is for someone else to do that for the first time or for someone to come over to our country and to visit. And they're in their mind, this is like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing since sliced bread for them, because of their living conditions and just being appreciative of what we have. And just stopping just to say thank you, God, just for a few minutes, just recognizing what we have and everything like that. It's like, man, it's just so much to just be thankful for and to just appreciate. So it's like those things, just taking the time to just care for ourselves. I feel like that's more popular today. Maybe sometimes it can be looked at as being selfish. sometimes because you take the time for yourself. You take the time to do those things for you. We're always growing. We're always in a different place in our lives than somebody else. And sometimes when it's convenient for you, it's not always convenient for the other person. And so maybe that person is taking some time for themselves. Maybe that person is taking some time to just relax and to just breathe and to just think and to just take a moment to just take in life itself and just to care for themselves. So maybe they're not going to be available to you right then. Maybe they're not going to be able to come to your aid right then because something in their life is stirring up in them and they have to take the moment to love themselves as well. And sometimes loving yourself does clash with other people, because you have to say no to people. Sometimes you have to change your mind about these plans that you had, and somebody may say, hey, do you want to do this and do that on Saturday? And you're like, sure. But in the back of your mind, you're like, man, I just wanted to spend that day by myself because I needed that time alone. And then out of nowhere, you're just like, you know what? I got to tell this person I can't do it. You know what? You reach out to them and you're like, hey, I know I said that we were going to go out this Saturday, but honestly, I'm just not able to do it this time. Can we reschedule to a later date? And then that person may look at it and be like, okay, it doesn't matter how that person feel about you canceling your plans. The bottom line is, what do you feel? What do you need at that moment? You need time alone. You need to regroup. You need to recuperate. You've been working all week long. You haven't had much time for yourself to even do anything for yourself or, by yourself. And then all of a sudden you're giving more plans over to somebody else and you realize I need this time alone. So I have to say no to this person in order to free myself. I know I'm guilty of saying yes a lot. And I've learned to say no sometimes. And it's not always easy to say no, but I have to say no. And some days I'll say no for half a day. I may not always say no for the whole day. I may say, okay, well, how about this? How about the first part of the day is to myself and then I'll hang out with that person later? Okay, can we push the time back? Can we go from noon to like 5? Because, then I can spend a few hours with them and spend more of the day with me. So it just depends. Yes, I need to learn how to take time out for me so badly. It's very important. And the older we get, the more we see that. When we were kids, we wanted to hang out with our friends all the time. But we're not kids anymore. We're adults now and we have time that we need to spend to ourselves because we're important. We're definitely important. I am learning stillness is becoming important to me. We are a go, go, go type of people. So just sitting a moment in silence, everything is a means of self care. I try to implement every day. Exactly. Um, it's just, even if it's just 30 minutes, just to yourself. Like I play that music. Sometimes I'm at work and, I have my headset on because I talk to patients. And sometimes when I feel myself overwhelmed internally and I know that I feel like I just need time to myself, I tell myself, I'm like, okay, let's put this music in my ears. So I put the music in my ears in between patients calling me and talking to me or me calling them and talking to them. And I hear that music to myself and I'm just like, just taking deep breaths, just taking in those moments that I have to myself, even if it's just 5 minutes when no phone is ringing or when I don't have to call anybody, because I understand how important my mind and my heart is to be nurtured and to be cared for and to be taken care of. Because it's not just a physical thing, it's not just those things, it's the mental and the emotional and the spiritual. Anytime I need to pray, and I'm just like, hey, let me call you back, or you know, I got to go pray. Let me just go pray. It's just taking that time out just to talk to God, just to take in some refreshing, moments with me and God, just so that I can recuperate, just so that I can just rejuvenate my spirit and my mind and my heart, just to be able just to say, okay, this is just me and God's time right now. Hold on, let me go, just be by myself. Let me go take a walk around the neighborhood. I'm glad that I actually feel safe around the neighborhood. I'm gonna be honest, when I was in Philly, I walked, oh my gosh, the neighborhood that we stayed in, it was a really nice neighborhood. And the houses were beautiful, and some of them, because some of that brick up there just creeps me out, makes me itch, but that's besides the point. I was able to walk around the neighborhood, put my headphones in, and just walk, think, get out of myself, get out of my mind, get out of my own way, and just talk to God, talk to myself, just talk to the camera. Like even things like that, like just me talking about my day or talking things through, just allow me to be able to just take some time for myself. Um just take some time for myself. I know another thing for self-love, for self-care is finding a new job. Finding a new job. There are some times where we're like backed into a corner with our place of work and we don't love our place of work. We spend so much time at our jobs that we can be miserable based off of our job. That's 40 hours in a week. Come on now. There's 24 hours in a day, and out of 24 hours in that day, I'm sleep at least 6 hours of those days. Okay, so that knocks off some time. But I'm at my job for 8 hours. And I may take 8 hours. I take a break in between that time, but you're at your job. If you're around people that really don't like you or you don't get along well with or you hate your job in general, it's like that is the most miserable time for you to like go to work and not even enjoy what you do anymore. You don't enjoy what you do, you don't enjoy the people that are around you. You go to work, you got this tunnel vision on because you're like, I ain't coming here to be nobody friend. I'm just going home. That's a miserable life. And then you only got 2 days to get away from them people. And then you got to come right back. So in the end, it's like you're still suffering in some sort of way. It's like, yes, sometimes that job is a form of disease that needs to go. Exactly. And sometimes you can't get rid of it because you're there. But it's like if you find that your job is bringing out this miserable side of you, and I have been there, trust and believe me, I have been there to the point where the higher ups were getting on my last nerves. And I'm just like, but my coworkers and I, man, we had a good time. We had a good time. And it's like, this was like a years back. And, I just prayed and I asked God to send me the right job. And, but you never want to rush leaving places either because you never know why you're there. And I can truly say that, you know, I rushed. I was like, God, I want to get up out of this job. And when I left the job, oh my gosh, I went into an even worse job. Like the job that I went to was even worse. And I stayed there for a year and I got the heck up out of there too. So it's like you know what you need to do to better yourself, but sometimes you have to get yourself in sync with yourself enough to say, okay, I got to be at peace. And that's one thing that we don't have often. That's peace. To be able to go to a place that we don't want to go to be able to do the things that maybe we don't even love doing anymore. And in order to be able to take care of ourselves mentally and emotionally, just so that we can have the strength to do what we need to do every single day. Because you can't just up and quit your job, especially when you got bills. You may have kids to take care of. You may have, a family member to take care of. You have yourself to take care of. You can't just up and quit your job. I mean, some people can do that and walk away and be okay. Not Bev. Okay. I know I got these bills to pay and I know they ain't going to pay themselves and Jesus ain't coming down to pay my bills. Bottom line. So I have to pay them myself. But sometimes you just want to be like, Sis says, yes, I recently prayed about this very thing. My job was impacting too much. And and I'm so thankful by God's grace to be walking into a new opportunity soon. As a mommy, I'm trying to teach my son this because life really doesn't just hit you. So I'm honest with him. I say, son, I love you, but I need this time to be better. I used to feel so bad, but I'm learning it's not at the expense of him. It's actually an investment for both of us. I think this is a healthy perspective that could help any relationship. Absolutely. I love you, but I need some time to myself because it's going to make me feel better. It's going to make me think better. And then I'm going to be better to be able to be with you, to be able to take time out with you. If you don't take care of home base first, how can you take care of other people truly? Because when you're pouring from an empty cup, who's really going to be able to pour into you? Think about it. If these people, if people are designed, because kids or certain people are just designed to be takers. There's people, that just take because they don't really know what to give or they don't know how to give just yet. And honestly, as a child myself to my parents, it's like when I was younger, I just want to take, take, take. It didn't dawn on me how much my parents probably just was tired and didn't want to deal, with me at the time. And I mean, it's 9 of us. So, and like I tell people all the time, I love my parents. I love my mama, but I ain't her. God be my helper. 9 kids? No, thank you. I'm good. It ain't for, I ain't built for that. So I'm just like, you got to take time for yourself. You got to be able to do certain things. So if my mom went to the grocery store and she went by herself and she was there for a few hours, maybe that was her time by herself. She probably was in there eating chips, popcorn, drinking drinks, doing everything she wanted to do by herself because she was like, "Ooh, thank God I ain't got none of these kids right now." Like you never know what somebody needs in order to better themselves so that they can come back fully energized. I consider myself to be a very energetic person, but I see myself as the person that still needs time for myself sometimes. Still battling with certain things that I have to take care of myself. And, another self love thing is trying not to overthink. Try not to overthink that what I'm doing is hurting someone. When you explain something to someone, you got to walk away after you explain it. You can't pacify their feelings because you think they may not understand. No, you have to be strong because that's when you teach them, okay, this person needs that. But if you apologize for needing time alone, or if you apologize for, doing things for yourself, then that person is not going to respect it the next time. They're not going to respect it. They're going to be like, man, whatever. They just need this because XYZ, whatever. They just trying to get away from me. No, it's not like that. I really do need this time for myself, and I need you to respect that. You teach people how to respect you by loving yourself, by taking time for yourself, by putting up that wall that when it's needed, not all the time, because there are some people that just don't want to be bothered by nobody at all, period. Never, ever, ever. And it's like, man, like, okay, well, that person to me can come across selfish, if they are always reaching out to someone else, but then get upset when that person isn't at their disposal. But it's like, if the tables were turned, would you be available for that person? And if you can answer that question and say yes, then okay, that's good. That's give and take. But if you can answer and say, yeah, I kind of do ignore them a little bit, then why should you feel upset? If that person's not available to you at the same time you're available to them. I mean, that you need them to be available to you. Um, so it's really a matter of just checking self, and seeing where you need to tighten up at and seeing where you need to take time for yourself. I know this is not a how can I say it, a very exciting topic for some people because a lot of people have learned over the years, over experiences to take time for themselves. Sometimes you can invest so much time into other people that you don't know what else to do for yourself. Like you're just so used to investing time in other people that when that person is no longer there or that person is not there, then you're kind of stuck. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much time I was giving that person. And now I got to give this time to me and I don't even know what to do with it. So I think you have to always progress in that aspect, and know like, okay, I need time alone. I need time to myself. I need time by myself. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I find myself definitely doing that. Hey, I'll call you later. Let me do this. Or, let me do that. Or, hey, this person is calling me. Let me talk to you later. Or things like that so that I can make sure that I'm balanced. That's another thing. Self-love is balancing your life out. Giving time to those people as they need it, as they want it, that's fine. But sometimes when they want it, you don't have time to give it because you're just taking time for yourself. And it's a matter of not people pleasing. Self love is not people pleasing because you can't love yourself and people please. Somebody's going to end up with, somebody's going to end up lacking, and you don't want it to be you. At the end of the day, you want to take care of you, and sometimes you have to sacrifice and give someone time at the time that you may have to give time to yourself, but it just depends on whether it's an emergency or not. If it's an emergency and that person really, really needs you, then sometimes you have to be like, okay, let me just stop what I'm doing for me and let me just be there for this person. But after I'm done, I'm going back to time for me. And that's what you have to do. It's like if you just start small and just carve time out for yourself, you know, I know some things that we can do, just put some things in the comments that you think that you can do or other people can do. Drinking water is self-love. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I need some tips on how to drink water because honestly, I hate it. It don't have no taste. I'm just like, who in the world, can sit here and drink a whole lot of water? I used to drink a whole lot of water. I had this big jug and it had times and I would drink that water according to the time, and I was good too. I did that for about a month. After that, I was like, oh gosh, if I see another bottle of water, I'm just gonna pass out because I can't take it no more. I didn't drunk too much water in this past month, and I just want something else. I want a soda. I want some juice. I want a smoothie. I want a milkshake. I want a bucket of ice cream. I want something else. If I could drink ice cream, I would drink that instead of the water, because I'm just like, I need some taste, for something other than that. And it's a thing of, exercising, that's physical, something to take care of your body. Going to seminars, going to things that educate you is self-love. Reading books, that's self-love. It's just like, I need some tutorials on how to drink water. I do. I'm telling you, I really do. I try to drink water. Well, I learned that drinking cold water 30 minutes before you eat decreases your appetite. And I learned that drinking room temperature water is good for your digestive system. I'm a singer, so I like to drink room temperature water for the most part all the time, because I know how good that can be for me, for my body, for my vocal cords, for me to be able to sing properly and speak correctly and not strain my voice and things like that. So that's important to me too. But at the same time, it's like, I know that's too much sugar, sis. Don't make me feel bad. But I do that if I drink a whole lot of water. I'm like, oh, I need something else in return because I can't do this. But I'm gonna be honest, I broke my sweet tooth. Like, changing the way that I eat. I call it a eating lifestyle change. I don't call it a diet. Because when I hear the word diet, I hear restrictions, and that gives me a little bit of anxiety. I don't like restrictions, okay? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Me and restrictions, we don't get along. So I have to say it's a lifestyle change. So I eat differently. I really do. That's why I don't love Thanksgiving. I don't have time for the collard greens and for the mac and cheese and for the yams. And yes, I'm talking about myself, and I'm saying that I don't like soul food. So if anybody has anything to say, go ahead and say it in the comments now. You ain't got to talk about it when we go. Talk about it right now so we can have this discussion. Because, I've had my students, when they was like, Miss Harris, we're going to take your black card. I was like, well, y'all just going to have to take it then, because I really don't give 2 cents. I don't like feeling full. I don't like the way soul food makes me feel. I had one plate, y'all. And on that one plate, I had this much collard greens, this much mac and cheese. I had this much yams. I had, I ain't gonna lie, that sweet potato souffle my mama made. And I had probably had about that much. But I had a turkey. I had a turkey wing, so that was good. I had a little bit of turkey. I had a little bit of that. My mama gave me some ham, so I had a little bit of that. What else did I eat? I had butter beans and okra. Mm, I love butter beans and okra. So I had that on top of some rice. That was good. And I'm trying to figure out, I had a roll, a yeast roll. Not too bad. I'm trying to figure out what else did I eat. My plate, man, my family still was like, you ain't gonna eat all that. They always say that you ain't gonna eat all that. But guess what? I did. I tried to make them give me some money for eating all of it, but they was like, that wasn't a part of the plan. The part of the plan was just for you to eat all your food. Because I don't eat big portions. I eat very small portion sizes. I eat enough just to say I ate. I'm gonna be honest. That's how I've trained myself. And I slimmed down, even though I've always been a small person, but I lost, I think over the past couple of years, I've lost at least 13 pounds. Esther, I've been trying to convince my mama to make something other than soul food for Thanksgiving, and she will not do it. Okay. I'm serious. She will not change that menu. I want seafood, but she's like, no. Um, let's see. And hi, Esther, by the way. Let's see. That's okay, since you can eat what you want to and still keep your card, period. I am still laughing at drink ice cream. Yes. I think adding lemon and mint is a nice taste booster. There are lots of spa water recipes where you add fruit and it's pretty tasty. Okay, I may have to try that. But then I'll probably get tired of that too. So just know that I'm just a little strange, but it's all right. Um, but yes, I think I was at like a good amount when I was like, ugh, a few years ago. And then now I'm down to pre-college weight. Like, I'm back down to mm, high school weight. Seriously, like high school weight. I'm down. Like, this is probably the lowest I've been since I was like, and I know y'all see my pictures, so it may not look like I've lost a lot of weight, but trust me, the scale don't lie to me. And I'm just like, wow, I think I've lost at least 15, if not more pounds over a certain amount of time, because I've changed my eating habits. I've changed my eating habits drastically. And I do not cook or eat things that I normally don't like to eat anymore. Like, I love things to be like fresh veggies. Like, I don't like canned stuff. Like, growing up, it was 9 of us. So my mom ain't trying to make everything fresh. It's a little more costly, but I don't eat canned stuff. I don't eat things that are already pre-made for the most part. Like I buy my meats fresh, and things like that. Thank God I'm not in high school. Wait, we praise thee, oh God. I don't even know what that means, but I'm laughing at the fact you like, we praise thee, oh God. Okay. um, I just know that there are certain things I journal, you know, I write. I'm just trying to put in things that I know people can do to love themselves. But yeah, I'm really just changing up the way I eat. Everything's fresh. Sorry, that was random about the journaling, but everything's fresh. I buy my fresh veggies. I cut them up myself. I season them myself. I do a lot of salmon and shrimp, whenever I do make things for myself. I live, with my parents now since I moved back from Philly. I'm not ashamed of that either. And my mom do a lot of the cooking because when I get home, she's already done cooking because they don't like to eat late. And I asked if I could cook and stuff like that, and my mom was like, you get off after 5 o'clock. Well, you get off and you get home after 5 o'clock, so I do not want to eat that late. So my mom cooks a lot of times, and and I'll have very small portions of that. Honestly, like I'm telling you, if I didn't have to eat food and I would still be able to live, I would do it. There are people that are foodies. I'm not a foodie. Girl, I want to lose weight, but the hubby might complain about that. No, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily, girl. If you're doing it for yourself, I'm pretty sure he'll love anything that you do for yourself as long as it's not going to hurt you. Free self care. Everybody stretch as soon as you wake up. That's a good self care tip. Literally stretch. It's like giving yourself a big hug and saying, I love you. Just 5 minutes, minutes or more if you want. You can stretch before you get out the bed. Yes, I do that. I stretch sometimes before I get out of the bed, and that makes me feel energized to like get up and get out of the bed. I don't do it every single day, but there are times when I'm like laying in there and I'm stretching my arms, stretching my legs, things like that, just to get my blood flowing, my body pumping, getting ready to go. Saying, yes, let me get on the body here. Thank y'all for chiming in. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself positive things is a good way to show yourself love. I don't know if this was said already. It was not said already. I remember there was a crucial time in my life when I just felt like I just wasn't the type of woman that I thought I was. I really did. I really did feel like I was not as good as I thought I was. And yes, it was as a result of someone saying something that really broke me. So, what I did to recover every single day, I bought sticky notes and I had this huge bathroom mirror. I mean, it was huge. And every single day, I put something up there about myself that made me beautiful. And I would put that up there every single day. And then I would tell myself, Bev, you are a beautiful person. You are amazing. And you're a friendly person and you're a sweet person. And, you're a positive person. That person that said XYZ, they don't know you well, XYZ. And I mean, this was years back, but I did that. I looked myself in the mirror every single day and I told myself what I loved about myself. And I told myself what I thought was a lie about myself because people can tell you things about you that ain't the truth. And if you ain't careful, if you ain't stable, if you're not strong enough to handle those things, you're going to believe them. So you have to tell yourself, nope, what they said was a lie. They said I was this and that's not true. They said I was that and that's not true. So not only did I tell myself the good things about myself, but I made myself no longer believe the bad things people said about me. And I mean, people may look at me and be like, what, Bev, you were like that? Absolutely. I really was. I went through that phase where I literally had to learn to love myself again. I had to learn to love myself again. I had to learn to take care of myself again. I had to believe that I was worthy again. I had to believe that I was worthy of love from people. I had to believe that I had to love myself and I was worthy to even love myself. And I had to forgive that person. I had to forgive myself for even allowing their words to even hinder me or damage me in any type of way. There are things that you have to learn to do to keep on top of loving yourself. And it's a daily journey. It's not something you can just start and stop. When people treat you a certain type of way because you love yourself, you're going to respond to them in a way where they know not to do that again. And that's one thing about me. I'm a very sweet person. I see myself as a sweet person, a friendly person when you first meet me. But if you cross a certain line with me, then I have to speak up for myself because I love myself and I don't want you to get away with the way you're treating me. Because some people will treat you continuously a certain type of way until you show them, like, hey, I love me and you're not going to disrespect me. That's a part of self-love, setting those boundaries and telling yourself, okay, this is the line that I'm not going to allow people to cross. And if they cross those boundaries, this is what you do. You have to tell them, hey, you crossed this. I said this and you crossed. So I'm letting you know, don't let it happen again. Of course, you ain't got to fight and stuff like that, but I'm a stern individual. I'm very stern, with people. And I bark sometimes, not yelling or trying to be disrespectful. But if I feel like you're trying to come for me in a way where I just don't appreciate it, then I got to let you know, like, hey, look, I ain't for all that. So you can do whatever you want to do with anybody else, but with me, that ain't going to work. And sometimes you have to be that way with people. And it's sad that you have to really get outside of your normal friendliness to let people know you're not going to tolerate certain treatment. That's crazy. But you have to, because you're telling yourself, I'm worthy of respect and love, and they should not treat me like that again. And you're telling them, don't let it happen again. And then if they choose to do it again, then you already know, okay, this person don't respect me. So if you can get away from them, then fine. By all means, get away from them, because they don't deserve to be around you. If they're gonna treat you like you're not important, and it's simply because they choose to disrespect you after you've already set the record straight, yeah, that person don't need to be in your life. That's another thing of self-love. You got to see how people treat you. You got to see how people are around you. And if they don't treat you the way that you desire to be treated and that you deserve to be treated, then that person doesn't need to be around you. And you have to be woman enough or man enough to walk away from that person without feeling bad about it either. And if need be, you got to be like, hey, look, I've said this and I've told you this multiple times. You keep on doing the same exact thing. So I'm gonna let you know right now. This right here, this friendship that you thought was here, is no longer here anymore. And if you want to know why, look in the mirror. Because I told you to stop doing this and to stop doing that, and you don't want to listen to me. And I don't need nobody in my life that don't respect what I say, or don't respect how I feel, or don't respect my boundaries. You don't have to ghost them. You tell them why you leaving them alone. So that way they'll know. So that way when they walking away, or when you walking away, they can be like, well, dang. They can check themselves. And some people still won't feel like they've done anything wrong. They'll still feel like you're doing too much. But that's on them. That's on them. You have to create boundaries. And I want to talk more about that too later, but that's a part of self love too, creating boundaries, saying no and meaning no when you say it, and not, as we would call it in spades, reneging on your no. If you meant no the first time, keep that no set in stone. Just different things. You even got to say no to yourself. That's self love. We were talking about that, friend versus enemy, doing those things that benefit you, staying away from those things that don't. That's all a part of self love. All a part of self love. Greetings, Sister Monica. I'm a foodie. It's part of my inner peace. Girl, some people love food. They love trying different foods, things like that. Me, I'm like, nope. I will eat the same thing over and over for a whole entire month. My brother came to stay with us. I think I might have told y'all this already. He came to stay with us and we had salmon for like the whole month. That's how we did. We had salmon, veggies, rice, rolls. We had, seafood. And he was just like, oh, if I see another piece of salmon, I'm like, I'm sorry. I can eat the same thing over and over and be satisfied. I'm not one of those people that has to have a different meal all the time, but I do like to try new things. It just depends on what it is. If it's seafood, I'm down for it. Let's try it. But if it's other things, I'm just like, we'll see. That's just me. I just get really nervous about something being incredibly nasty. Terribly nasty, should I say. And I'm just like, I wish I would have never tried that. I should have stuck to what I had the first time. That's how I am. I hate being let down about food. So I just be like, no, thank you. I'll just stick to chicken tenders. If I don't know what else to get, let me get chicken tenders. I'll eat that. Put that in some honey mustard and French fries and leave it be. But you try to get me to try something I've never heard of or never seen, and I ask the waitress or whatever, hey, is this good? And of course, but I've had some people be really honest. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it. I like that better. Okay, well, let me get this then. And then I eat it and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I listened to you because it was really great. So stuff like that might win over. But other than that, But that was going back to the comment about her being a foodie, and me. If I didn't have to eat food and I could just live off of drink, I'd be fine with that. I would definitely be fine with that. Me too. Is that what you said? I'm serious. What are some other things? Oh, that's what I mentioned earlier. I journal. I journal and I write down things. I haven't done it it's been a long time since I sat down and wrote a lot, but I do write. I do write. I write things for myself, and I write things to keep myself, thinking about the things that I need to work on and the things that I need to do better on and the things that I feel happy about. So I do that as well. I do that as well, you know, just to keep myself thinking about life and thinking about where I'm at and where I'm trying to go. And, planning goals is a thing of self love, having something to look forward to in life. To me, I feel like that's something that makes you, happy, something that makes you, just glad with just the opportunity to be able to look forward to something. Like I have goals in my mind and in my heart that I want to accomplish. And, I'm still thinking about those hoodies, y'all. I am definitely going to be working on those soon to get those done. I want to try, my goal is to try to get those things out by the end of the year while it's still cold outside, so that people can get the hoodies or, the sweatshirts and be happy about that. Because I really definitely want to be able to do that for you all. So I'm going to be working with my sister and another sister from the church so that I can get those ideas out there and have y'all in my Fly with Bev show hoodies. I'm excited. I'm really excited also. I gave another business card out for my Walking Me shoes last night. No, not last night. What's today? Saturday, Thursday night. And that makes me happy too. I have my website, and I want people to be included on my sales and my shoes and, things like that. And I love it that people, recognize me as the person that's in charge of Walking Me. And that's something, I have goals set for that as well. I still want to open my own store. I have my ideas set. I have things in my mind that I want to do going forward. And I just want to know better on how things to do. Sister Shalom says, sis, I'm hurt. I need to cook a whole month's food for you one day that you've never tried. Okay, you just have to let me know what it is first because I will try it. I will try it, but I'm just not as risky as everybody, risk taker in food as everybody else is. Reading and listening to podcasts for me are self care. So I thoroughly enjoy it and I'm grateful for this one. Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's ways to remind ourselves to take care of ourselves. I don't ever want my show to be something that people are just like, ugh, whatever. No, thank you. But I do want it to be something that maybe something you've never heard of before or something that just is a positive light in your life. Taking time to listen to the things. I used to listen to podcasts myself, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really an audio person. I'm really not. I have to do all of the above at the same time. Like if somebody's talking and I see their face and they're talking to me, I can watch that. I'm just like that. It just depends on what it is. Now, if it's the teachings, now I can sit there and listen to that. Without seeing it, because I can actually follow along in the scripture. So that gives me something visual to look at. But if it's simply just, listen to someone's voice sometimes, I might not be as good. So I appreciate those that are logging in. I thank y'all so much for logging. I didn't even realize it's been 49 minutes since we've been on live, but we're going good. I just want to be able to just, add some light on the self-care thing. I think going to spa treatments, getting a manicure and pedicure, those things for women. I think men, yes, drinking tea. Oh my gosh, when I have those moments when I can just sit down and drink tea. Now, me, I like to have peppermint tea mixed with hot white chocolate, like white chocolate. So I don't put sugar in my tea. I use my white chocolate to stir in with my peppermint tea. Ugh, and it is so good. It's such a good combination. That minty fresh with that, white chocolate. Even though my sister is like, girl, you ain't drinking white chocolate. You drinking powdered milk. I'm like, leave me alone. Let me see. Having colorful journals help as well. I realize I feel more at peace when my journal is not just plain white. In fact, it gives me anxiety. So something else. Good. That's good. Something else that we can do. Drinking tea, meditation, just meditating, thinking on those things that are positive, thinking on those things that change our lives, thinking on those things that really aid us into being a better person. All those things are a part of self-love. I know for men, I think them taking time out. I know guys that are like in sports and stuff like that. So them going out shooting hoops, that's something that I know that some men will do to be able to, spend time by themselves and to be able to get out there and to just go one-on-one with somebody on the court. That's like self-love for them. Or my dad, he goes fishing. He goes fishing, whereas women, we go shopping. But my dad, him and his brothers and the nephews and, my brothers, which are his sons, they'll go, and any other men that they want to invite, they'll go fishing. Going fishing is like their self-love moments, where they're just spending time with themselves or, like men are different. So I don't know how they do certain things, but those things give them peace. Let me see. Writing letters to yourself. Absolutely. I can see that. I'm telling you, it works. Absolutely. I don't know exactly what you're referring to because I said so many things, but yeah, writing letters to yourself, I think is a good thing too. It's something that reminds you whether it's good or, I've written letters to myself saying, girl, you doing all right. Like you hanging in there. Like you've been through this, you've been through that, but you're still hanging in there. Just, I think I've written a letter to my younger self. Like if I could write a letter, I think people say that if I could write a letter to my younger self, like what would it be? I think taking time out to do that, if you had the moment to write a letter to your younger self and tell yourself something important, like what would you tell yourself? What would you say to yourself? Just reminding yourself to be encouraged. Like, hey, like if I could write a letter to my younger self, I would tell my younger self, Bev, hang in there. Like you're gonna go through this, you're gonna go through that, but you're gonna persevere. You're gonna, overcome these things. You're going to be better. People are gonna hurt you, but you're still gonna love hard anyway. You're still going to do this and do that, and you're never gonna be, stagnant by their words or when this happens, don't do this because you did that already and it didn't work. Like just things like that. Like I would tell myself certain things like that if I could, if I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self, like, this is what 26 is going to look like. This is what 30 is going to look like. This is what 31 is going to look like. God willing, I'll be 32 soon. Oh my gosh. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, 32. Like, I don't even know how I even feel about being 31. But it's like time is flying, just things I would tell myself. Or maybe I'm down about something. I need to tell myself, like, you know, this is so good. Let me see. Watching your favorite series or a movie. Absolutely. I do that too. Chicago PD, I'm not even gonna lie. If y'all have never watched it, it's on Peacock TV for free, all 8 seasons, and the ninth season is still free as well. So go on Peacock and watch Chicago PD. That is my jam. Okay. I love stuff like that because it's not nothing too crazy. Sitting in complete silence. I try to do that as well, just sitting there and just breathing. I try to do that at least for a few minutes. It may not always work, but I used to do that a lot. When I came home from work, I would say, hey to everybody, go upstairs in my room. In 15 minutes, I would lay on the floor in silence and close my eyes and just take in the silence because I needed that for myself. Yes, I've written letters and scheduled it to a time I would have forgotten. Sometimes I get the letters a year later. It's really therapeutic for me. Good. Buying a new outfit now. Shopping, I think, is therapeutic for a lot of women. Shopping. I'm an Amazon girl. I don't like going in stores. It's just too much. But I will fill that cart up in a heartbeat just to say I didn't feel it. I think I had like over $1,000 in my cart one time. Now I ain't purchased it. But as I went back and look, I was like, yeah, I really don't need that. Yeah, I really don't need that. You really don't need that. Okay, I want that, so save that for later. But you don't need that, do you? Nah, you don't need that. You just put that in here because it looked good. But yes, I've like bought like bulks of stuff at one time. I've bought like dresses. Like I wanted to renew my wardrobe and wear a lot more dresses than I do shirts and skirts because I like wearing dresses a lot more. It's one thing you have to put on versus a shirt, a skirt, and maybe a jacket, depending on how the shirt looks or whatever. And so I just like doing dresses, a lot of dresses. So I had this moment where I bought like a lot of dresses at one time. And my sister teases me and she's like, girl, she was like, how in the world do you be finding this stuff? She was like, you be finding this stuff. I said, girl, I go on page 18, 20, whatever. Like, she's like, I ain't got patience for that. I'm done after page 3. I said, see, that's why people ain't good with shopping online. You got to take your time. Good things come to those that wait. It says, I also wrote a letter. See, things like that. Those things talking to ourselves, letting ourselves know how we feel and, where we trying to go. Like, I write my goals down. At the end of every year, I write my goals down. And it's so funny how I need to go back to that. And I need to see what all has come to pass this year and see what all has really truly came to pass for me this year. And I think one thing has came to pass this year and it's made me happy. Really, really happy. So I'm definitely grateful for that. I know that there's some more things that I want to come to pass, some more things I need to work on, some more things that I need to do better at. Um, but I want to go back to my list that I wrote. Having a genuine good conversation with a good person. Absolutely. Um, and I've had many of those conversations this year. Taking a long, warm, essential oil filled bath. Absolutely. I bought this Epsom salt. It's mixed with hmm, ashwagandha. Have y'all heard? I know a lot of people have heard of the ashwagandha vitamins that relax you. Well, I have the Epsom salt. I have the Epsom salt and I have the bubble bath. That's ashwagandha. And when I tell y'all, I can only imagine how people feel when they take that the vitamins and how they feel just calm, cool, and collective. Like whenever I do get a chance to put that in the bathtub, just the smell alone, I just be like, man, like it's just a calming thing, just something very calming and relaxing, and it relieves his muscle pains and stuff like that. So anybody could use it, but it's like a matter of just really just like, man, like it's a really good thing to be able to do certain things. I'm trying to think of something else that, like I said, I go for a walk or going to the park or going to your favorite restaurant. Sometimes you can go to a restaurant alone. Me, I'm gonna be honest, it's rare that I go to a restaurant alone because I really don't go out to eat as much. But whenever I do get food, sometimes I'll just get my food and go in my car and just enjoy myself in my car. I just enjoy myself in my car by myself. And I think that's a really important thing, just to be able to spend time alone. That's the main thing about self-love, just being able to take care of yourself by yourself and to not depend on other people to take care of you. That's another thing people do. They give hoping that someone's going to give them the same thing in return. And it's not always like that. You can't give thinking that people are going to give you the exact same thing in return. You may be giving other people what they need. They may not be able to give you what you need because they don't really know what you need. They don't even really know how to do that because some people are just takers. So let me see. I know this one sounds basic, but actually doing your hair. Yes, I did my hair. I actually twisted my hair myself. I don't like other people doing my hair. I can't stand it. And if somebody has to do my hair, I'm just like, I hope it turns out the way I want it to. I hope it turns out the way that I would have done it. I hope it turns out in a way where I actually love it when I walk away. I've had too many bad experiences going to a salon where they don't do my hair. They don't do my hair right. I'm paying y'all and y'all don't do my hair right. Forget it. I'll do my own hair. Like I don't want to spend all this money on my hair. And then I look in the mirror and I'm just like, what in the world? It's equivalent to a man getting his hair cut. He trying to figure out what the heck the barber did to his hairline. It's like, no, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that my hair looks the way that I would like it to look. And I've had these in for a long time. I'm actually surprised at myself. That's how you know I ain't been wanting to do my hair. Because I actually have had these in. I need to make sure they ain't locked up. But I had these in before Charlotte. And that was at the beginning of this month. And I can't believe I kept these in for 4 weeks. It's been about getting closer to 4 weeks that I've had my hair done like this. So I think I'm gonna wash it, take them out, wash them again, and wash my hair again and blow dry it and then start it all over again. Do it all over again. Because honestly, like your hair grows better when it's dirty anyway. So, you know, it's kind of like, I wish I could just do them over. Oh, let me see. You mentioned hair. Your hair looks good. So good too. I was going to comment earlier, but I was like, we ain't here for that. No, it's okay. You can talk about it. Somebody just told me that Thursday. They was like, your hair looks so good. I was like, really? In my head, I was like, I need to do this over. Now y'all ain't see the roots though. So y'all looking at this part. See, up underneath this hat here. Now y'all might not be saying the same thing. Bev girl, you need to take care of that. But I feel like I have a lot of new growth, so I need to wash my hair. Well, take it out first. I think I'm gonna take it out today and wash my hair and then blow dry it and then start it all over again. So tomorrow I may let it breathe for a little bit and then I'll start this week. I normally do my hair over 4 days. I'm gonna be honest. I do a section at a time. Sometimes I'll do the front all together. Like I'll do the front and then the back is not even done. So I'll take 2 more days. I'll part it down the middle. I'll do this on one day and I'll do the back side on the next day. So maybe 3 to 4 days. It just depends because I used to do it all in one night. And that would take me a good amount of hours. And I just didn't feel like doing that no more. I don't have anywhere to go and I know how to cover my hair to the point where it's not seen. Like I can have the front done and then the back can be in a ponytail and then it could be a scarf over it so nobody can't tell it's not done. Oh, I've worn my HUD at work many times. It just depends on how I feel. But yes, those are some things that we definitely can do to take good care of ourselves. Anything else that anybody has that we can do to take good care of ourselves, just making sure we go to the doctor. That's something else I wanted to talk about. Going to the doctor to get a physical. It's so many things happening and so many people finding out later on in their lives that they have cancer or, and it's in like the fourth stage and it's too late sometimes to do chemo or radiation. Think about all these things. It's like, take good care of yourself. It's not enough just to change your eating habits. You need to go to the doctor and make sure you're getting all your proper nutrients because you can change your diet according to how you think it should go, but you may not even be getting the proper nutrients for yourself. You may not even be getting everything you need. So them drawing blood on you, running vitamin D, running your TSH, which is your thyroid, them running, a CBC, which is a complete blood count, seeing your white blood cells, your red blood cells, making sure you're healthy. If your white blood cells are large in number, it means that there's an infection present and they're trying to do their job to be able to kill off any disease that's in your body. If your red blood cells, I think, are lower, I think it's like you're anemic, you're losing, that you need iron or whatever the case may be. It's certain things that I've learned in the medical field. Them checking your, just checking different vitamins, magnesium, checking different things in your system just to see where you're at. Go do that once a year. See where you're at. If you're not feeling well and you don't really know what's the issue or what's going on with it, why not go to the doctor? That's what they're there for. There are some people that are just so old school, so old fashioned. Come on, get up out of that. We don't got time for that. People are dying left and right out here, and they don't even know what's the issue because they never even took the time to go to the doctor to see. It's not just about you. You have people around you every single day, people that love you, people that care about you. If you ain't gonna go to the doctor for yourself, go to the doctor for them. Go to the doctor because God forbid something happens to you. At least you would know what it was and you were, giving them, information about how you've been feeling and stuff like that. Don't just sit around and not feel well and not go get checked out. Don't just sit around and have all this health insurance and not use it. Why are you paying for health insurance if you're not going to go to the doctor to see what's up? Why are you not? Why do you have dentist appointments? Take care of your teeth. Yes, my teeth are not the straightest teeth, but I do love my smile. So who gonna check me? But I go to the dentist faithfully. Okay. I go to the dentist. I have them clean my teeth. I have them floss my teeth, whatever they got to do while they're in there. I am the best dentist patient ever. I'm thinking about getting braces. I'm not 100% sold on it yet because I love my smile. And I don't even know if I want to get braces. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think I should get braces sometimes because it's like these are my teeth. And if the world loves straight teeth, that's their personal business. I gotta love myself. And I do love my smile. So I don't even give 2 cents who looks at my teeth and say, whatever. Bev love herself. And if you want to pay for me some braces, then by all means give me the money, honey. Other than that, keep it to yourself. I do have the money for braces, but I'm just saying. It's just things like that. Getting yourself taken care of. I gotta go get my eyes checked again, probably at the beginning of next year, because it'll be time for me to get, my eyes and stuff checked. Thank you, sis. It'll be time for me to get my eyes and stuff checked to be able to. Thanks, sis. Exactly. Okay. To be able to get my eyes and stuff checked, to be able to. Thanks, y'all. To be able to get my eyes checked so I can see. Like I got to be able to see. If nobody don't like the fact that I'm 4 eyes, oh well, I don't care. I can see. Like I love the fact that my glasses have this Blu-ray thing in there. It protects my eyes from like using devices, using computers all day long. Things like that. Maybe even going to a dermatologist if your skin isn't the way you want it to be. Whatever the case is, it's nothing wrong with going to get yourself checked up. It's nothing wrong with going to make sure you're in the perfect health. Because if you're not in the perfect health, how can you be able to do your everyday things? If you've been excessively tired and you don't even know why, if you've been feeling some type of way, if you've been feeling sick and you don't even know why not go get checked out? Some people just want to drink a cup of water. It ain't gonna fix everything. Go drink some water and lay down. We ain't in the old times no more. We have the science a little bit to help us in some sort of way. So don't take it for granted. Don't take the doctors for granted. I'm not saying trust everything they say because they can give you a death sentence. They can. They can tell you you don't have much to live. They can tell you those things. But I don't mean you have to believe everything they say. But at least go there and see what's up. So that way you can know what you're working with. Scented candles. Absolutely. I love lighting candles. I actually have a wax melter though. I have a wax melter in my room. Matter of fact, it's plugged in now. And it's like the fruity smells. I love the fruit and fresh smells. I don't really like sweet smells, but I do like the fruity smells. I love stuff like that. Like citrus. That's what I'm talking about. Citrus smells. I love that confidence. Well, I try to be. Thank you, Sister Melissa. She says a beautiful, beautiful smile. I know that's right, Sister. You have the most beautiful smile for real, for real. And I'm so glad you love it because it lights the room. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. And so, I'm really just like, it is what it is. Just take care of yourselves, guys. I know, life can be hard and life can get you down and things like that, but we all have a part to play in our own happiness and our own joy. We cannot give that power to anyone else. We can't give it to a job. We can't give it to money. We can't give it to a significant other. We can't give it to a husband. We can't give it, if there's men on here, we can't give it to a wife. We can't give it to the kids to make us happy. We have to invest in ourselves. We can't give it to our mothers, our fathers, our sisters and brothers. Someone hurt you, you got to forgive them and you got to move on. You can't expect them to be able to say the right thing to make you happy again. You have to get within your mind that you may not always get the closure that you want. You may not always understand what you did wrong, but you can't dwell on that. You have to find it in yourself to take care of you. And if someone doesn't see the how can I say it? There's a word I'm looking for. If someone doesn't see your value, it's not up to them. You have to see it, because that's the only way you can truly love yourself. There will be people in your life that accept you for who you are. Few, but those people you want to be around. Those are the people that you want to be around. Those people that accept you for who you are, even with your flaws, because no one is perfect. So those things, loving yourself, making sure you're surrounding yourself by those that love you and those that you love. Don't get me wrong, we have to love everybody, but there are some people that make it harder for you to love them because of how they are. So you have to pick and choose who you spend your time with. You don't want to be around anybody that make you miserable. You don't want to be around anyone that's always talking about other people, that's always got somebody else's name in their mouth. You don't want to be around people that always see the negative in things. You want to be around people that see the positive in things, even when things are negatively displaying themselves. Those are part of things that, really show you how you really take good care of yourself. Not everybody is going to be able to see eye to eye with you all the time. You may disagree with people. You may argue with people, but at the end of the day, how you handle that shows you what type of person you are. Let's see. Amen. She said, cutting ties from people that bring you down. Ooh, I felt that. I'm serious. You have to walk away from, we're not in a place, if you find yourself being around people because you just want to be around somebody, you got to check your self love, because you should be able to be around yourself and enjoy your own company. So that way, when you get around certain people, anybody that takes you out of your peace, anybody that takes away from your peace, and they don't add to your peace, why are you bothering with them? Why are you even hanging around them? You got to ask yourself, how much do I really love myself? If I'm hanging around somebody that keeps pulling me out of my element, pulling me away from those things that bring me joy and peace, why are you being around that person? You got to check yourself, because you are important. You're important. And if that person doesn't make you feel important, then why are you around them too? Somebody that doesn't make you feel like you're relevant to their life, somebody that makes you feel like you don't deserve them or they don't deserve whatever. Okay, well, peace be unto you if you can find some peace, but I'm gone. And if they ask you why, tell them. Tell them exactly why. That way they don't have to question it down the road. You give them exactly what's up. It's you. You've done this. You've done that. You said this. You said that. And this is why I'm separating myself from you. And if you don't like it, then you need to check yourself, because I'm not going to be around anyone that doesn't respect and love and appreciate who I am as a person, because I'm important. So give love to yourself, and that way you can give love to everybody else. Do those things that show you that you love you. Because when you love yourself, you're going to gravitate towards people that love you too. When you don't love yourself, you're going to find yourself around a whole bunch of people that disrespect you, a whole bunch of people that don't care too much about you. They're going to be offended if you take time for yourself. They're going to be offended if you don't want to hang out with them. Oh, absolutely. If you're not even if you're not even loving yourself in a way that you should, and they're not valuing you, then you got to ask yourself, why are you around people that don't value you? Because evidently you haven't made your presence known to them. You haven't let them see that you're not going to be treated that way. So you got to check yourself. I'm not even telling watch me skip away. And that's fine. You don't owe anybody an explanation. That's not what I'm saying. But if they're bold enough to ask you, let's put it that way. If they're bold enough to say, well, why you stop talking to me? Well, I stopped talking to you because of XYZ. But sometimes I think you need to tell people why you don't want to hang around them. You know why? Because some people feel like they don't do anything wrong. Some people feel like they don't do anything that's worth being rejected over. So sometimes you have to tell them, this is why I'm not dealing with you no more, because of XYZ. And sometimes they have to hear from the person they never thought they would hear from, so that they can be able to check themselves and say, dang, I didn't realize I was like that till such and such said it. Well, now they got to regroup, and you can walk away in peace. Sometimes they got to hear it, because sometimes they need to be better, and they ain't gonna be better if nobody don't tell them. So if you got to be the person to tell them, by all means, let them know. But I love y'all. I appreciate these 10 wonderful individuals and the two I have on Instagram. So it's 12 that have chosen to stick around until the end of this podcast or this show. Thank you all for watching and listening. I really appreciate your ears. I hope I've said something to help or something to shed light upon ways that we can help ourselves and love other people as we love ourselves. We're supposed to love ourselves, love other people as we love ourselves. And if we ain't loving ourselves, guess what? Ain't no way in the world we're going to be able to successfully love other people. So take care of your mind, take care of your heart, take care of your body, take care of your soul, take care of your spirit. Don't ever regret it. Don't ever regret doing what's best for you. Don't ever regret it. Absolutely. And at times, even when you say it, they still refuse to see and accept it. Absolutely. But at least you've done your part. The truth makes you free. May not let them free, but it makes you free because you didn't told them. So definitely just know that I love y'all. I appreciate you all for making this show what it is because I know without you all, I wouldn't even have a show. I'd be talking to, I guess, the internet waves, the connections, I guess. But I thank y'all for sticking it out with me. I just want to say that, self love does not always come easy and it's going to come with the price. And you may lose some people along the way for doing what's best for you. But Tabitha Brown said something recently. She said, never apologize for moving in the way that God has you moving. You may be going here and somebody's still looking at you from this standpoint where you were. They're looking at you from where you were right here, but they don't realize you've grown. So they're coming to meet you here, and then they realize you're here, and they may not like that. But never ever apologize for growing, for doing what's best for you. Never ever apologize for doing what's best for you because all you're doing is giving people a reason to not respect you. And all you're doing is taking away from the self love that you have. Pay attention to you, love you, so you can love everybody else. And you're welcome. You're welcome, sis. I appreciate you for joining. So, of course, I got to end with my song. Oh, may God be with you. Oh, may God be with you. Oh, may God be with you till we meet again. Oh, may God be with you. Oh, may God be with you. Oh, may God be with you till we meet again. I look forward to seeing y'all on the next week's show. Hang on in there. Have a wonderful next week. And God willing, if everything goes well, I should be live again. It may not be on this stream. It may be somewhere different because I'm traveling, God willing, next week. So I love y'all. Have a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful day. Peace and love, my brothers and sisters. Bye.